Welcome to the Fast Leader Podcast, where we explore convenient yet effective shortcuts that will help you get ahead and move forward faster by becoming a better leader. And now, here's your host, customer and employee engagement expert, and certified emotional intelligence practitioner, Jim Rimbach.
How do you get higher contact center agent performance? It's when customers grade the call and their ratings and comments are used to motivate and coach agents. Uncover hidden secrets and replicate your best agents with the real-time insights from the award-winning external quality monitoring program from Customer Relationship Metrics. Move onward and upward by going to customersgradethecall.com/fast and getting a $7,500 rapid results package for free. Okay, Fast Leader Legion, today I am so excited because I have somebody on the show that we get to tap into their knowledge and their energy in order to help us get over the hump. Justin Robbins spent much of his youth in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, a small town in Pennsylvania's Susquehanna Valley. During his teenage years, Justin's family moved to the suburbs of Washington, D.C., where he was actively involved in his school's music and theater arts program. Through Justin's late teens and early 20s, he lived in a variety of locations and experienced an assortment of educational and professional opportunities. By the age of 22, Justin had been a hotel manager, a U.S. Navy recruit, and a booking agent for Grammy Award-winning artist Kevin Max of DC Talks. He gained exposure to unique once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and used these experiences to develop a well-rounded world perspective as his career gained momentum. Along the way, he also earned money by working in numerous frontline customer service roles, from paperboy to call center agent to cashier. Eventually, Justin's career brought him to Hershey, Pennsylvania, where he spent 5 years in the contact center of the sweetest place on earth. While at Hershey, he became responsible for many of their hiring, training, and customer experience initiatives. Justin is currently employed as the community director for United Business Media, where he leads both the Incoming Calls Management Institute's and Help Desk Institute's brands in bringing research, best practices, and impactful content to the contact center, customer service, and IT support professionals communities. Justin volunteers as the newsletter editor for Agape, a mission serving his local community, as well as a high school youth leader at his church. He is a husband and father of 3 children and enjoys taking his family on adventures across the country and currently lives in Danville, Pennsylvania. Justin Robbins, are you ready to help us get over the hump?
Oh, Jim, I'm so excited to be here.
And I'm glad to have you. Now, I've given our listeners a little bit about you, but can you tell us what your current passion is so that we can get to know you better?
I think the best way to put it is just building community. One of the things that really got me through all of my experiences along my career is just having that sense of belonging and knowing that there are others just like me, kind of pursuing the same types of things, experience the same types of problems that I'm experiencing. And so for me, that's my passion. It's finding those people, helping them get connected, and really just kind of getting forward momentum, really building relationships, gaining experiences. Again, comes down to building community.
You know, I really admire that in you because, I had the opportunity to meet you several years ago, and it seems like just in a very short period of time, we rapidly found, a connection with one another. And it seems like you're just one of those folks that, of course, is kind of gifted with that. But you also, nurture that in yourselves and continue to grow that. I mean, what are some of the things that you do in order to help you enrich and build that inherent skill that you already have?
I mean, for me, it's always been a matter of immersing myself in those types of situations. It's my wife and I, we are polar opposites. That's probably something really important to know about us. And my wife is, you tell her, let's go meet a bunch of strangers and spend the night with them. And there are probably a million things that she could think of that she would rather do. But for me, those types of situations, that's really where I get to sharpen my blade. That's really where I get to hone this skill and figure these things out. It's one of those things that it's hard for me to teach someone and to tell someone how to do something if I'm not able to, if I don't have the experience and the exposure to do it myself. So for me, the enriching opportunities, the way to really build the skill is to practice it as many opportunities and as many chances that I can get.
That's such a great point. And I find that even for myself, that I know there are certain things that I would like to get better at, kind of set the goal. But however, I let fear stop me from doing that very thing. And so how do you actually overcome that fear?
I don't know that it's a matter of overcoming the fear as much as it is maybe bridling it and really understanding how to use it to kind of gain momentum and kind of just have that forward inertia in propelling you and motivating you. It was probably taking back to high school when I got into theater and got into singing. I had this terrible stage fright. If I had to get in front of people, it just terrified me. And kind of I got to this place internally where I realized I had two choices. I could let that fear get the best of me and I'd still have to get in front of people and they would see that kind of trepidation. They'd see me, I'd stumble, I'd be shaking. And so I could let that fear get the best of me, or I could use that fear to really drive me and say, I have this opportunity to be in front of these people and I can give them my best and I'm going to be scared regardless. People still say that to me today. I'll get up in front of, whether it's 15 people, 1,500 people, they're like, do you get nervous? Do you get absolutely every single time? But it's a matter of using it to motivate me rather than let it get the best of me.
I think that's a great way of putting it. It's don't focus in on trying to get over that hump of the fear, but bridle it and use it in order to propel you forward. Thanks for sharing that. I have to share with everybody, since we're talking, we're on audio and we don't get to see us. Justin is also one of those folks that I looked up to by being one of the most best dressed folks that I've ever seen in an event. And I'm like, what's Justin going to wear? And I'm a guy, right? Okay, but the feminine side has to come out because I need to see what Justin's wearing. Great dresser, and also great person, great personality. If you haven't had the opportunity to see Justin speak, you definitely want to look out for that. So, Justin, I know that you. Talking about your background in theater and everything that we shared as far as the different experiences that you had. And those are the things that can add so much to our own life and where we're going is those experiences. But, we need inspiration. You're an inspirational person, and we focus on quotes in the show to help give us that. Is there a quote or two that kind of stands out for you that provides you with that energy that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's one quote that, and I share this at every opportunity that I can when I'm with a group of people, and it's actually by Maya Angelou, and it says, "Remember, people will judge you by your actions, not your intentions. You may have a heart of gold, but so does a hard-boiled egg." And that really just resonated with me. That we so often say that, I wish I could do this. I wish I could, have this change in my organization, or I'd really like to see this happen differently, or I wish, and we have all of these ideas and all of these intentions, but really it's a matter of what are we going to do with that? How are we going to put it into action? That's really going to define us. Nobody's going to know us by our wish list. They're going to know by what we actually made happen. And so for me, that's just kind of a personal driver and a personal motivator.
Oh, and there's one of the things that you said in there, and thanks for sharing that quote, is, and then it kind of stands out for me. And what I've tried to do as part of a personal practice is try to share what my intent is before I start, talking about a thought or an idea or trying to encourage people to have some dialogue. It's because I don't want them to, unfortunately, get a wrong perception of what I intend, right? Because if you don't tell people your intention, they're going to make up what they perceive to be your intention, and it may not be what you want. So I've tried to actually incorporate that in my dialogue.
That's a really great point, Jim.
Yeah. And so and you kind of made that, stand out for me. So thanks. When you start thinking about all of the things that you've had experience doing and really helping you be, where you are today, I know there's been a lot of humps. I mean, people, and not that it's a negative in any way, but doing and shifting and getting all those different experiences, are from many different reasons. And some of them are humps that we just can't get over, right? So we just divert our path and go somewhere else, but we're still moving forward. That's the intent, right? Is there a time where there was a hump that you had to get over and it kind of, defined you to take a better path? Can you share that story?
Yeah, so this is actually not a commonly shared story that I tell, and it's probably something that a lot of people don't actually know about me. So when I graduated high school, I was in the National Honor Society in the program, was kind of all through high school set that I was going to be a music teacher. And so went into my freshman year of college, went in at the honors program, was really excited about music education at a school that at the time had a really great music ed program. And I got there and I immediately felt lost and like I didn't belong. Not in the sense that college wasn't necessarily right for me, but I realized that the kind of the degree I went out for wasn't what I wanted to do. There were kind of a variety of factors impacting my life at the time, but I really realized that I was kind of lost. I was personally lost. I was just mentally lost. I had no idea what I actually wanted to do with my life. But I did feel that right there at that time that I was just kind of like spinning and making no forward progress. So I made the decision at that point after my part of my freshman semester of college to drop out. And so I dropped out of college in my freshman year. And really for a number of years, I talk about all of those things I did before I turned 22. And it was just me just kind of trying to see what would stick. Some of them were really great, really exciting, but there were also some really miserable, terrible jobs, horrible bosses making not much money at all. And, honestly, for probably a period of at least 3 years, I mean, it was not good. I mentally was kind of in a bad place at times. I, would maybe spend the little money that I had on things that I really didn't need it. And I mean, honestly, Jim, for the kind of the bigger part of it, I was lost. And I didn't really know where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And it was thankfully to a number of kind of mentors who were externally in my life, externally feeding into me, who really helped me kind of regain my focus, regain my charge, and kind of step back to this place where I realized, I do have a choice. And it kind of went back to that place of fear. And I had this choice to let fear get the best of me and to really kind of play this victim of circumstance where I could own these fears, own these anxieties, and really kind of align with what was I ultimately passionate about? What did I feel that I was really good at? And just pursue that and invest my efforts and invest my time, my energy in really kind of honing myself into a very specific skill set that would really kind of allow me to pursue my passions, allow me to pursue the things that I felt and that I had received recognition for being good at. And so for me, that hump was, this just period of insecurity, not really knowing, who I was or what I was, kind of meant to be doing with my life over that 3-year time when I decided to drop out of college.
No, thanks for sharing that story. And I mean, for me, I had a similar scenario where I was in between, a job and what I wanted to do. And some of the things that you said just resonated with me so much because it was a scenario where the anxiety just started overwhelming me. And being able to try to figure out a way out was, it was so dark and it was so difficult that the thing for me that helped too it sounds like it helped for you is, yes, some good mentors, but then also really just kind of, focusing in on one thing. Because I think for me, I was trying to focus in on so many things. That's part of what was driving me nuts.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Well, thanks for sharing that story. I know for me, gosh, I also think about you had a heck of a lot of strength and some good support because, mine was a couple months. Yours was a little bit longer than that. But definitely, I think both of us have come out on the other side at this point, and I'm so glad that you're part of the Legion. So when you start thinking about all of those experiences and that time, and even where you are today, I mean, all of that, if there was a piece of advice that you would give to the Fast Leader Legion, what would it be?
Yeah, I kind of thought long and hard about this one, and really, what I think it comes down to is internally we know what ignites our passion. We know what that one thing is that if we could do it for the rest of our lives and not get paid a cent for it, that's the thing that we would pursue. And, I feel like this could be hard advice to maybe get sometimes. At least it was maybe hard for me to process. But really my best piece of advice for the nation is to be true to you. And that might mean having to turn down some things that maybe you kind of like, maybe they made you feel good. Maybe they didn't make you feel good, but you did them because, you got something out of it. And whether that was money, whether it was prestige, whatever that was, ultimately, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to do your best work until you recognize what is true to you. Who are you really, and what are you designed, and what are you meant to do? And that might come to some people easily. They might be doing that right now. For some people, they might have been trying to figure it out, but still aren't there yet. And honestly, what I can just say is really focus on you, focus on who you are internally and what you kind of feel your pulse racing about, what you get that excitement over, and pursue it. And if you do, you're going to find levels of satisfaction that go beyond any paycheck you could ever get. They're going to go beyond any level of procedure, every title that you could ever receive. Because ultimately you're doing what you're meant to do. And I think too many of us settle for something because we're afraid of what that might mean if we ultimately pursued what we felt called to do.
Thanks for sharing that. And another thing that stood out as you were saying that is I started thinking about control, and that oftentimes we try to control so many things. And I had the opportunity to speak with this one coach as part of their marketing, for their services. It said something along the lines of take control of your life. And I said, you know what? We all want to hear that. And as a concept, we embrace that. We're attracted to that. We want that. But in fact, that's the thing that actually harms us is when we try to control so much, because when you try to control and more you try to control, you in fact control nothing.
Yep, exactly.
It's one of those oxymorons in regards to trying to thrive and find happiness, is that you can't control it. You just have to do what you said. Focus, think about the things you enjoy and release. That's where the value will come from in your life.
Definitely.
So I know for you, gosh, you have so many things on your plate, including, helping youth at your church, being a father and raising a family, a husband, managing these communities and these brands, speaking, writing. There's just so many things that you have going on right now. If you were to say you had some goals, what would they be?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jim. For me, one of the biggest goals that I think is never going to change is to never settle for what I know kind of about my craft and about my community and my industry today. I think it's really easy, particularly as people leverage you as an expert in the field and people seek your advice. I think it can really easy to fall in the trap of, I really know what I'm talking about. Man, I'm good. I think I'm good with where I'm at as far as how good I am. And so for me, one of the goals is to never get to that point and to never be that person, but to really always be a student of my craft and really always be a student of the industry and the work that I'm doing. So that's a big goal for me. Always look for opportunities, always find somebody who's smarter than I am, and find a way to surround myself with those types of people. I mean, that's really been kind of one of my tactics for most of my career, is find people who are really great at what they do and surround myself with them. And so that's just kind of a continuous goal for me, is to seek and pursue people who are doing really, really great things, and make them part of kind of my network of friends and my network of community. Another goal for me is to really continue to figure out the whole work-life balance. I think for a lot of us, that's something that we say is important to us. And I've been saying it's important to me, but really putting a goal on making sure that, we talk about family, we talk about friends, and recognizing that it's their support, it's their really kind of, ability to carry us through is what enables us to also be successful in our careers. So that's a goal for me. Another goal, just kind of to, round it out with 3, is I love being outdoors. And a goal for 2016 is actually to spend a weekend doing sub-zero camping. So that's a goal, is to make it through 3 days in really, really cold weather, which with a bunch of guys that are just awesome friends. So I don't want to chicken out. So those are probably my goals for right now.
And the Fast Leader Legion wishes you the very best. Now, before we move on, let's get a quick word from our sponsor. Developing your contact center agents using surveys is what monkeys do. Elevate your ROI on VOC by building integrity and agent engagement with the survey calibration process, only available in the award-winning external quality monitoring program from Customer Relationship Metrics. Move onward and upward by going to customersgradethecall.com/fast and getting your $7,500 rapid results package for free. All right, here we go, Fast Leader Legion. It's time for the Hump Day Hoedown. Okay, Justin, the Hump Day Hoedown is the part of our show where you give us good insights fast. So I'm going to ask you several questions, and your job is to give us robust yet rapid responses that are going to help us move onward and upward faster. Justin Robbins, are you ready to hoe down?
I'm ready to hoe down, Jim.
All right. So what do you think is holding you back from being an even better leader today?
Honestly, setting the bar too low. I think I just, kind of set a goal and I settle for that and I don't dream big enough. So dream bigger, dream bigger, dream bigger.
What is the best leadership advice you have ever received?
Probably in line with that is just never give up. Sometimes we fail. It's going to be a failure. Get over it. Move on.
What is one of your secrets that you believe contributes to your success?
Just personal drive, just really being genuinely excited, enthusiastic, and wanting to constantly get better.
What do you feel is one of your best tools that helps you lead in business or life?
The insight of really great authors who are really wise and provide excellent advice and ideas for just kind of thinking outside of my norm.
What would be one book that you'd recommend to our listeners? And it could be from any genre.
So in that vein, it's The Promise of a Pencil by Adam Braun.
Okay, Fast Leader Legion, you can find links to that and other bonus information from today's show by going to fastleader.net/Justin Robbins. Okay, Justin, this is my last Hump Day Hoedown question. Imagine you were given the opportunity to go back to the age of 25, and you have been given the opportunity to take the knowledge and skills that you have now back with you, but you can't take everything. You can only choose one. So what skill or piece of knowledge would you take back with you and why?
I would just take back the knowledge of, oh my gosh, I'm going to struggle on this one. No, I would take back, I can't make the decision, Jim, this is so hard. I would say I would take back the knowledge of kind of where I'm going to be in kind of the amount of years. And it wasn't that far ago, so I'm not going to say the number of years, but just kind of what's going to happen in the next series of years for me. I would just take the knowledge of where I'm going to end up and really just kind of to calm and say, look, you have some things in front of you right now, but just continue to work hard, continue to stay true to you, and everything's going to work out okay.
Justin, it was an honor to spend time with you today. Can you please share with the Fast Leader Legion how they can connect with you?
Absolutely. If you go on Twitter, I'm at Justin M. Robbins. Also LinkedIn /Justin M. Robbins. Heck, if you look on the internet for Justin M. Robbins, you're probably going to find me, Jim.
Justin Robbins, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. The Fast Leader Legion honors you and thanks you for helping us get over the hump. Thank you for joining me on the Fast Leader Show today. For recaps, links from every show, special offers, and access to download and subscribe, if you haven't already, head on over to fastleader.net so we can help you move onward and upward faster.